gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I went. Haha. Hi, guys. Old school, lazy days. Hopefully, everybody's doing fantastic. Uh, sorry, I am doing supper and with all the adult chiglings, what I had planned for tonight, the one that wanted it, isn't going to be home. Oh no. Tell you what, it's like a friggin' restaurant in here. Uh, you know, I, anyways, shh, keep that to yourself. And there's Tamara. Cynthia, how are you? Sue, the Butt Files. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, all is going well for you this week. Um, it's, yeah, I came home and got into my monkey suit real fast, and I was at a wake this morning, and yeah, an ex-employee of mine. He worked for me for years, and was in a traffic accident in Toronto and passed away. So, you know, if y'all can say a little prayer to his nickname was Woody. Nobody knew him by his real name. Well, obviously we did, but everybody around here knows him as Woody. And talk about a good ball player. Whew, that man at 60 could outplay a 22-year-old. Like he could hit the ball, he could run, oh man, catch, you name it. He was an all-around, you know, good fastball player. Um, but what I mean by fastball is what you see being played at the university level, uh, where the pitcher winds and lets it go. It's called fast pitch. Let's just say it's a lot of fun to play that. But my days of playing are long gone. Because if I was to trip or do one thing and knock my neck, that would be the end. So, yeah, needless to say, it's been one of those there kind of poopy weeks. He, other than that, I do have to say, me personally, I never got injured this week. It is only Thursday. And Monday, I go in and get the old doctor to look at my leg to make sure it's going to be scarred the rest of my life. Um, I guess that's what happens whenever you drive an inch long piece of metal into your calf or into your shin and go, instead of pulling back, I went up and ripped it. But that long. So hopefully, I just want to make sure there's no internal infection. Or Debbie's had, a couple doctors have looked at it and said it's healing very nicely. So, but I want it to heal before we go down south this winter because I want to go in the pool. I want to go in the ocean. And if it's not healing properly, I'm not going in salt water. It'd clean it. I'd scream like a little schoolgirl. And yeah, I can't wait for February to roll around. We're going to be visiting with Mr. Jim, who, sometimes he's a lurker, but Mr. Jim's always around. Mr. Jim knows all, sees all, and hears all. Just saying. And yeah, other than that, what what's been going on all week? Who's been doing what and who's been doing who, and any big plans? I know we got a whole lot of giving happening this weekend with if I'm not mistaken, there's a giveaway tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. That that just goes to show there's a whole lot of giving going on. But other than that, it Hank, Hank, leave your paw alone. Don't give me the doodle look. I said leave the paw alone. No, that doesn't mean switch paws. That means leave them alone. He's had he's had I don't know why. Hey, 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 Wendy. Company. Ooh. You know, company on the farm means stuff gets done. Just saying. Just saying. So, welcome in, Wendy. And whoever else is sitting, lurking. And Lillian, who went on the cruise with us. Um, she lives close to where we're going to be setting sail, and she's going to come up at least one night, I believe. And yeah, socialize, fellowship. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Mr. Jim's coming over. Lillian's coming over, and whoever else is close to Cocoa Beach, uh, Kennedy Space Center, uh, anywhere around there, drop me a hey if you want to stop by. I think we're probably going to do lunch on the Saturday. We're flying in Friday night. Lillian's going to grab us at the airport, go over to the hotel, and then I think we're going to do. Um, I think we're going to do the lunch. Mr. Jim found like a steak hamburger place, and it's not that far from our restaurant or from our hotel. So, are you going to be home for dinner?
Yeah.
Okay. I may get you to run to Metro. I'm having a real bad knee day. And Mom said we'll have chicken burgers for supper. So we need fries and buns because, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to make buns.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. But you have till 4 o'clock. It's just something that we can have ready because Mom has it's National Picture Taking People Days or whatever. So they're going to the escape room tonight. So
yeah, that's right.
it's just you and I to watch football tonight. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's the Broncos.
Who is it?
Broncos Raiders.
Yeah. Not that I care about either one, but should be a good game. That's it, Wendy. You never tell your company that you need them to help until they show up. Hey, come on. Let's shake, rattle, roll. Just saying. And once they're there, where are they going to go? They're going to help. Why is that not allowing me to? I'm getting real sick and tired with YouTube and the amount of issues. Sorry, guys, my hay fever's just about done, but whew, woke up this morning to like a doodle right there. Hank, what did I tell you about your pa? Goober. Oh, anybody want a dog? Hank. Sorry, Dad, I'm deaf. I can't hear you. You're such a loser. He's been picking at his paws, and I told him to stop. And he did, and then you came out, patted him. You went back, he started picking at his paws, and I called him out to stop. And what did he do? He's picking his paws. And he's totally ignoring me like I'm not even talking. Get Dad's wallet, bud. Yes, I believe they're in my beige khakis. Could be in jeans too, but I think they're in my khakis. I think. I don't know. Oh, he's up on his way back already, so he's darn tooting right. Okay. I like yous all, but you're not going to find out my password. Just 1 second, please. Well,
Keep messing it up too.
well, yeah, because now with the tap, you never use your password, and then I had that other password for 20 some odd years, and whenever mom had her identity stolen, then yeah. All right, so yeah, if you want to get the hamburg buns and get whatever kind of fries you want to, crinkly, spiced, whatever you want. All right, buddy. Appreciate it. I don't know what I'd do without that boy. He helps his dad so much that, yeah, I guess I taught him right. Help your elders. It's pretty bad that, you know, we're one generation away from ending. Kind of weird. You looked at your parents whenever they were this age, and you were like, you're old. Now, it, now our kids are jokingly saying we're old, but then our generation's looking at our parents, some of which, I'm blessed. I still have both. And, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But so did I first off, you know, what what a tragedy with that UPS plane. And, it I was just I had heard it, didn't even think twice. And well, if my sister's lurking, she can come up. But they were like one section away from being shelter in place from the smells that were coming from the plane and whatever. But man, I don't know what happened. Um, um, it's just so sad. They were on a 20,000 foot runway. So it's not like that big bird didn't have enough to go up. See, told you Mr. Jim's always around. He hears all, sees all, and knows all. And he BS's a little bit of all, too. How are you, Mr. Jim? You make sure to keep that temperature turned up. Or you can turn it cool now, but make sure it comes back up for February. Because if not, what are you doing, goofball? Stop. Oh my goodness, he's being a bad dog today? He's mad at me because we got out of bed 2 days in a row early. And those who say your dogs don't have a routine, BS. He is. See, you never know which account Mr. Jim's going to pop in on it either. Oh no. And this is prime citrus time, is it not, Mr. Jim? But that's more south if I'm like down where Lillian's from, I believe, like farther south from where you are. Um yeah, she'd be I'm trying to think now. What happened with you honestly, Wendy? The plane crash landed. It Yeah, there's only been one accident. It's been a refurbished plane, but that's all you need to deliver cargo. All the all the flight crew are dead, obviously. It went down in a huge ball of fire. So it was full because it was doing a direct flight. Most of the oranges have been frozen in the past. Yeah, yeah. The engine fell off. If you just go to YouTube, type in "after my live," type in UPS Louis, Louisville UPS crash. There's one. There's one driver, an 18 wheeler, who was, I guess, switching trailers or whatever, and he got it all as the plane was coming towards him on the side. Lost one wing engine. Um, yeah, no, there's. If I'm not mistaken, there's like 12 people dead, 10 people dead. Stand by. Um, how uh, how many people died in the UPS plane crash in Louisville? 12 confirmed fatalities. And of course, you have the tinfoil hat wearing people that, the lies that are coming out, and the investigation guys shut them down yesterday. Um, yes, somebody on one of the chat rooms put that it was. Hey, Miss Anne, how are you? Um, Goober, stop. Oh, really? We have some kind of delivery. The guy stood in front of my window, knowing full well that, well, I guess there is only my daughter's car. Kyle's got my truck. And he fired our package onto my front step. Huh? Oh, that just annoys the you living. You know what? You're getting paid to put it at my door, not throw it on my deck. But anyways, it was at the Louisville Muhammad Ali airport, and that's the one that Glenda and Sir Grace use all the time. And so sad that there was, I believe, 5 air crew, 3 to 5. They haven't come out and said exactly. I've heard 3 and I've heard 5. Then you have your tinfoil wearing conspiracy theorists that, oh, well, they worked on the plane for 2 hours before it took off. The investigation guy said that was absolutely false. Just somebody trying to, you know, add another twist to the story. He's like, they have all the records, they have the black box, they have everything. So there's no issues. Like he said, it's going to take quite a long time. Oh, yeah, Miss Anne. He was not saying hi. He was saying, I'm going to chew your leg off. And then he likes to make himself look very like he's a bad dog on the walk. And he likes to think that whatever the light touches is his. Just saying. Him and Sir Grace's puppers, they could have came from the same litter. Except Sir Grace's puppers has thousands of more hours of training than this butthead. But I just got sick and tired of training a dog that whenever I turned my back, everybody would not use the same commands. They wouldn't use the same commands. And they yeah, I'll just leave it there. I had him trained, and it's so easy to train a doodle if he wants to. So you got to use snacks to get him going with, learning new stuff. I had him to the point where he would put his toys into his basket and get out another toy. I would not let him get multiple toys and scatter it all over the house like a doodle likes to do. I mean, we were, and then my lovely, darling wife was off for a week and a half with some health issues. And now I can count about 13 different toys all over the living room right now. Yeah. My best friend. Are you watching, Goobers? They're putting the black stuff on 4 of the houses across the street. And speaking of houses, we have where you've seen me go up and get all my lumber and whatever is a good friend of mine. We went like from JK right through school together. he it's almost sad that he got an amazing deal on it. He deals in tractor trailer loads of hardware, lumber, whatever. Um, he buys the entire. Well, this was a 48-foot tractor trailer that he purchased, including the trailer. Full solid wood interior doors. I bought 5 of them for a quarter of the box store prices. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. The savings. And then I went to order the hardware. 5 doors. Just the doorknobs. $198. I kind of went, ow. But yeah, no, he was watching they're putting tar on the houses across the way. So they have started to put the houses. Yeah. So this, the guy was, I could just see the package do this through the air. He fired it onto the deck.
Yeah, it was just sitting there.
I'm like, you moron. Is it for me?
Yeah.
I'd hope so. I just opened it. Oh. Well, if my sister is in here, these are the chews that she was talking about. And her and my lovely wife are going to be on the same medication. So I figured if it helps Glenda, it might help Debbie as well. So we got that all fixed up. And now that I finally found, whenever Glenda and I were talking about this, we were looking, that package, I don't know what happened. That package was $10 US, 36 Canadian. Well, oh, never mind. I was going to say, give me my bank card before I get somewhere and go. Ah, yeah, I got it. I got it for $11. I should have ordered a case of it because I went to look at it again this morning. It's back up. So I don't know what they're playing. Amazon, you got to be very careful now. They are starting to add on tariffs. Doesn't make sense because any of the stuff coming from said country doesn't go through the US, comes straight to Canada. So we should be paying no tariff. So we're not sure why Amazon are starting to charge us tariffs. Now, sure, if it's made in the US, and the same for you folks if it's made up here, it's just like, you know what? You guys got to settle this. Because I know myself, my friends are getting really sick and tired. You have the extreme on one side, and the extreme on the other side seem to be running the circus. And I don't know. It we got to get back to where both countries did everything together. You know, I can remember, well, and they still do. The US Army comes up here for winter training. That have since I was a little boy, the US guys would come up, you know, those who played hockey, they would have like a miniature little hockey tournament, and it was more fellowship, you know, learning with other folks. And, you know, we go down there to learn different things. But then, whenever we're told that, you know, we've done nothing for the US, funny how people forget about 9/11 and 8,000 people were housed in Gander, Newfoundland in people's homes. Forget about the fires in California. We were the first ones there with water bombers. If you don't live near a border, you don't get it. And trust me, upstate New York, uh, all the way across, it's an $8 billion market, both ways. And right now, with the tariffs, it's cheaper for me to fuel up my truck here than what it is in the States because of the tax on the tax on the tax in upstate New York. And with the exchange rate, now they did do something. Our budget came out last night, I think, and it is so stupid, it's not even funny. Um, like, I mean, stupid, funny. But, anyways, it is what it is. It just, we're kind of hoping that the um, cross border stays to where it is or where it was. You know, like I tried explaining to Jesse what cross border is like. And honestly, you want to see the cars from New York coming north and us going south, and there's just as many Ontario license plates in upstate New York as what there is New York license plates around the border. And like even Ottawa, where I am, an hour from the border. You know, I really wish somebody would let the two people that seem to be doing such damaging stuff, let them know the truth, not fantasies. Let's look at the natural gas. we supplied, was it last year? We supplied 98% of your natural gas needs. That's gone because we sold the rights to Tokyo. No, it wasn't Japan. It was Tokyo, I believe. Got the natural gas rights. It was better for Canada. We got more money because we kept the price low for our neighbors. And that's got to stop. Like, my God. Just irks me a little bit how, you know, people have issues with this and people have issues with that. And you know what? As long as you're good and you're kind to somebody, just, I'm sorry, but that's one of your check marks. It says it right in that little, the big old Bible. But we'll see. Now, um, one of them did. Yep. I don't know if it's still active, Wendy. I believe. Let me think. Biden shut it down his first day in office. Did he not? Was it that pipeline? Because there was one pipeline that was just about connected to Canada and to Louisiana. And I know Biden shut it down, costing 15,000 jobs or something. But anyways, let's just put they didn't do anything in this budget for kids trying to buy new homes. What? Yes, I know you did, but Kyle's like, they gave me more money. So yes, our military did get an infusion. They're buying more. Were the subs in this one, or is that? Yeah. So they're trying to track down the subs. And Wendy, you folks, yeah, you folks were just like us. You damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like the one person who's prime minister up here now is they're putting him in an investigation. He was a CAO, and his company was based right like 45 minutes that way. Well, his head office was in Bermuda, where you don't pay taxes. So he's a Canadian citizen with an offshore business. Is that legal? We're going to soon find out because they are taking him, you know, it just, yeah. They're taking yeah, so that's probably the one, Wendy, that they shut down. But I think Trump started it back up. I'm not I'm not 100% sure. Um, like Glenda couldn't believe the censorship between the two countries. You guys don't get to hear exactly what's going on here, except for us. I don't understand, or not understand, I understand what's going on down there. But we, like Facebook and that, cannot and will not put information out from down there. The big media will not put stuff. It's almost censorship. And I know both constitutions have stuff in there about censorships. And yeah, you know, uh, we were damned if we did and damned if we didn't. Um, the leader of the opposition, they're trying to get rid of him. Uh, they had one of the conservative people crossed over to the liberals yesterday um, because of the censorship that the leader was trying. He was just being a nasty individual. Like, he's gonna throw hands down with Trump and blah 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 blah. And it's like, really? We work together. Cut the crap. And anyways, you have your people that, you know, put Canada in the same threshold as Mexico. I wish I had. Wish if there's one thing I wish about Mexico, we had their weather and they had ours. That's the only thing. But it's just pretty bad now that Mexico or Canada, we have to pay because they've didn't walk away from the free, or not free trade, but the treaty with the three countries. There was no issues per se. Now we have to put it on a ship and go around, which ups the stuff, And there's some Canadian companies that are like, oh, we're going to move down south. See you. But whenever you're charged 100% tariff to sell your products back in Canada, if you don't have a manufacturing plant, honestly, countries have to look out for their own. And, I've been part of that. Digital. We built all the computers that were used in the Iraq War. Um, they came down my line. Um, I worked for the company that supplied those. Then the company thought it was going to have a bright idea. They moved everything to Mexico. Well, the building that they were supposed to get in Mexico, the cartel took over. And the machines we sent down ended up coming back up here to the plant because they sat on the tarmac down there for 6 months. You wanted to see some of the creepy crawlies that came out of the machines. Like, they look like what we call June bugs, but they were like a June bug's about that big. These were about that big. They crazy. Then They wanted to send it because they had a warehousing and a small plant in Ogdensburg, New York. They ran off the umbrella of upstate New York, and we would bring all our stuff down there for final assembly. Both countries were making a mint off of it. Then I went to Mexico, and the whole country went, or company went, which that was the days of. Um, Actually, that's about, oh my God, late 1990s. Yeah, about 97, something like that. And yeah, then they wanted our operators to go down to Mexico, set it all up, and teach the Mexican people how to use the machinery. After a week, they came home because at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, nobody was around. They only worked the mornings because it's too hot in the afternoons. So our guys said, hey, it was nice a week down. It was winter time here, so they were spend a week or two down there, and then yeah, then the whole tariff started, and oh man. But anyways, it you have some people who like I said, if everybody liked the same thing, can you imagine how boring this world would be? But what we got to do is get back to the middle of the road politics. That way, there we can get stuff done. What's really been done down there? What's really been done up here? Nothing. They're off more than they work. Guess what? They've all got big raises. And, you have individuals, um, who depend on SNAP. No judging. But I worry about those folks because that is, a lot of those folks are either somewhat disabled, elderly, whatever. They didn't ask for a government shutdown, but now they don't get their meal replacement or whatever. I excuse my ignorance. I don't know what SNAP. I've heard what it means, but it's pretty much I think what food banks are up here. Um, but yeah, it's just man, oh man, oh man. Like I said, I don't know how many times. Give me the proper sized island, and I'll let you all know when to move. Everybody gets 10 acres. Yeah, well, and then Wendy, I honestly don't know anything about that. I just know the people in our community. that depend on SNAP. They didn't ask for this. They're disabled. A lot of them are elderly and disabled. And, you know, I've done what I can. I've helped out a couple people I know. I've just kind of dropped money at them. Um, One, I don't even think they know who it is. But that's just the way, you know. Just think of it this way, Wendy. We can all go onto an island down in the Caribbean near Jamaica where it's 85 year round, but stay the heck away from the hurricanes. Or we can build a wall. Build a wall so that the hurricanes, if you want to see real life, um, real life Melissa going through Jamaica, go have a look at Corinne and Marvin's channel, Davis Family Life. Corinne just had a baby a month ago and went into a hurricane with a newborn child. Thank goodness is Marvin is a contractor and he built his home out of concrete. There ain't no wolf gonna blow that house down. And it blew like trees, uprooted banana trees, coconut tree fell. That's just on their lot. And Debbie and I were looking so forward to actually possibly getting to meet Corinne and Marvin if they could. I'm not sure what part of the island they are, because that's one of our stops is Jamaica. It was where we're supposed to stop. There's 20 or 25,000 folks without a home. I don't see them fixing that in 3 months. Lots of people need help. That is sick. Again, Wendy, it turns my stomach. And again, it's good to see that the military got another raise here. They were the lowest of the lowest paid for a long time. Now I believe they're up into like 2 or 3. So it's about time. But, Glenda has said it more than once that, they had to rely on SNAP when Sir Grace was actually on active duty. He is protecting the country, and they had to go to the food bank for food. That's gross. That's disgusting. That there is the epitome of maybe knock your numbers down a bit and up the pay. Because if I'm not mistaken, what our guys can run with 2 or 3 guys, there's 5 Americans for the same gun. Oh, And they're not treated much better up here. Um, Try to get any type of help up here is like pulling hen's teeth. I'm fortunate. My one of my good friends, his fiance at the time would not let him ignore his symptoms, and he was close to just saying, "That's it." But the good Lord looked after him, and he's out of the military now. He's working in civilian life and doing well for themselves, and they got a beautiful, well, not baby anymore. She'd be 5 or 6, and you know, man, most absolutely, Wendy, and it's disgusting. You know, they say, "Oh well, signed on the dotted line." Yeah, signed on the dotted line to starve. Unless you could get into military housing, you ain't gonna have any, you know, special um, homes or, anything like that. Especially today's day and age. Like the big houses across the way. 2 years ago, they were built for 538,000. They're going for 1.3 million now. I don't know how much the ones are up for sale across the road. Um, I'd say they're going to be $1 million homes. And through the grapevine, I've heard that there's a developer, if he buys the land behind our house, he wants to buy our house. Because the way our lot is situated, he can put $1 million house plus a roadway on our land. And that's what they want. So I'm like, I'm not interested in selling unless you're going to give me a brand new house with all the bells and whistles, mortgage free. I know that ain't going to happen. So if it does happen, win win win. But I don't want to be in a cookie cutter kind of house. Uh, they just, uh, yeah. Now, what about the active members who are not getting paid because of the government shutdown, but they are demanded they have to be at work? That would be a cold day in Cincinnati that I would be told that you have to be at work, but you're not getting paid. No, it don't work like that. But, you know, finally we have our mail back. Um, the mail carriers um, the mail carriers decided that they were going to be left out in the cold, and they can't keep upping the rates. There is so many different people who are delivering stuff now. it Like if I was deliver to deliver that package of chews to, um, say, to Wendy down in Oklahoma would cost me $25 US. If I use my other shipping company, the one that isn't Canada Post, $5, $6, 4-day delivery. I don't care if it's 3 or 5. 4's perfect to go to Oklahoma. You know, under a week, I can have a package sitting from my shop and in Jesse's house in under a week. So it's crazy. It truly is crazy. And we're not sure what happened at the border, but I can't ship I can't ship maple syrup to anybody in the US except if I ship it through Canada Post, which is 3 times the price. Tell me that's not a racket. And it's not like, you know, it's an old thing. It's brand new. Because I always used to ship syrup with my other country. Absolutely, Wendy. And I can't say Debbie and I are going down um, in Ogdensburg, just across the border from us, where my P.O. box and everything is. There's a seafood restaurant. Oh my God, they make some amazing clams, deep fried clams. So we like to just go over every now and again and to have lunch and pitter patter around, and there's some things around that you know um, there's just there's different stores and stuff like that, but I can't even take a bottle of maple syrup across with me because they consider it corporate. It's industrial. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's made in my buddy's backyard by our hands. He sells it locally, yes, but he doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah, we ship it to Australia. Um, there was a Australian paramedic that came over for training with our paramedics. And Rob, before he retired, was a paramedic. So he got to know this guy fairly well. And every year he ships a bottle over to Australia. Never an issue. With under a week and a half, the gentleman has this fresh bottle of syrup in his hand. It takes me longer to ship it to Mr. Jim than what it does to Australia because it gets hung up at the border because it's technically liquid. Oh, is that Tenzi? Is that Tenzi? Oh boy, go see. Bring her a toy. Hank, get her a toy. Oh, go bring her a toy. Oh, no, you're going to come protect me? Okay. Well, he doesn't trust you.
Honestly,
I'm protecting my dad.
you're pathetic.
Say no, I'm a guard dog. I'm protecting my dad.
Yeah, he's so scary.
Just wait, he'll grab you right by the knickerknackers. Rip your toes right off you, eh, goober? That's funny. Mackenzie came home for lunch and he just, as soon as she got in through the front door, he didn't go see her. He went and stood beside me. He's a different one. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, but doing what I do, we are nonpartisan. I try to roll my channel the same way, but man, it's freaking hard. So it part of the budget was they're going to give people discounts on modular homes, which is homes that they build in the factory, put it together at where the house is going to go. Great. That's really going to help out my nephew. Um, he's a master red seal carpenter at one of these places. He runs he runs like the factory and building and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's gonna affect you know him in a positive way. But why would they limit it to modular homes and not like knock off some? Obviously, no kid is going to be able to have $1 million mortgage. Even a doctor, lawyer, dentist, by the time they pay for their schooling and the house, they'd be out of time. And, you have the, honestly, physician recruitment, the amount of phone calls we're getting from doctors down south that want to either move back to Canada, that they went down to the US whenever it was good times. Now they want to come back home to retire. And you have the others who just want to move up north. And it's like we'd have no doctor issue if you had to write a test and if you got over a certain amount of, you know, say from 95 to 100 on this test, you wouldn't have to pay for your schooling. But you owe whoever the province who paid for you owe them 15 years of service. That would take care of all the doctor issues. And it's not only the US and Canada that are having doctor issues. Mm-mm. We were talking to people like London, uh, Ireland, all around. We were chit chatting to people like that. We sent two doctors over there, plus our physician recruitment lady, um, our secretary, I guess you'd call her. Um, they had a wonderful talk, and we've had 3 doctors reach out to us because, well, we have a CT in our hospital. It's a very small hospital. Um, what's going on there, Dibbergoobs? What's going on? Sounds like a plane really low. Let me get my app. It is going from wow. Um, I can't even say this. King Abdulaziz International Airport. Um, where the heck is that? Jordan? Oh, that's in Africa. No, yeah, it's Sahara. So that, yeah, that'd be in Africa. Oh, not that far from Mumbai. Whew. He was supposed to go quite up north and come back down with the jet stream. And let's just say he didn't follow his flight path. 787 Dreamliner. I've never even heard of this airplanes before. Ooh wee. They're moving. They're doing almost 600 kilometers an hour. Giddy up. But, anyways, folks, it, you know, how would you like that, Miss Anne? I thought that it was a long flight, 5 hours. 12 hours and 23 minutes from Africa to Toronto at Pearson International. Wow. Not a chance. This boy'd have to be in first class for that. So that's what I heard, was that going over the house. It's loud. But anyways, so Wendy, you have fun with your company, and the rest of you, we might do a small auction tomorrow night with some colored glass and some German crystal candle holders. So we might do. We'll see. If you see me downstairs tomorrow night, we might just have little auction. And then I believe Sunday early afternoon, I don't have anything going on, and I may just do uh, an online auction. So make sure you get your free $15. So if you buy something for 30, you're only going to be billed 15, and then that extra $15 um, is a little thank you from Whatnot Auctions. So I'll make sure that I put it in my. I'll make sure that I put it in my. That's crazy. That plane that was over my house, 5 minutes ago? It's starting its descent into Toronto right now. So they were flying at 41,000 feet. They're down to 37,200 feet. They were doing almost 600 mile an hour, and now they're down to 507, and they're bringing it down about 1,000 feet every minute. And yeah, 507 mile an hour. Fun. But anyways, guys, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central. No, 8 o'clock Eastern. Oh, now I do have. I usually say who's on tonight. I don't know. Johnny, I believe, is still out hunting. I don't know if Christine's going to do the live herself. You take care, Mr. Jim. Yeah, we will definitely. Um, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I don't know if Johnny and Christine are going to come on or not. So we'll leave that up in the air. But you guys take care. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Toodles.